Be me. Live in a quiet apartment building where nothing interesting ever happens. Have one sad plant and a routine. New tenant moves in across the landing. Black clothes, always. Heavy boots, even in summer. Dark lipstick. Nobody talks to her. Everyone talks about her. She looks dangerous, says Mrs. Keller, whispering like a goth girl has x-ray hearing through concrete. She listens to very loud music, adds another neighbor, like that's a felony. Nod politely. Water plant. She doesn't look dangerous. She looks tired. Tuesday morning, leaving for work, half asleep, coffee in hand. Her door opens at the exact same moment. We freeze, stare at each other across the landing like two cats negotiating hallway ownership. She's smaller than expected. Sharp eyes, black hoodie, headphones around her neck. She looks at my coffee, then me. Deadpan. You're blocking the door. Glance behind me. I'm not. Say, good morning anyway. She squints. Morning, she says, like it hurts. Step aside anyway because why not? She walks past, boots heavy. At the stairs she stops, looks back. You live here too? Unfortunately, I say. She snorts before she can stop herself. Immediately looks annoyed. 2 days later. Elevator breaks, naturally. Now we meet on the stairs every morning, me with coffee, her with headphones and an expression that says, do not speak to me unless it's about fire. I mostly don't. One evening I get home late. She's sitting on the steps outside the building, smoking, staring at the sky. She glances at me. You're loud, she says. I'm unlocking a door, I reply. The door sounds loud. Can't help it. Smile. She rolls her eyes like she's allergic to optimism. You always this cheerful? Only on days that end in Y. She shakes her head. Unbelievable. She doesn't move when I turn and decide to sit next to her. We don't become friends, not yet. But the hallway stops feeling empty. And even though she acts like she doesn't care, she always knows when I come home. Realize something. Goth across the hall isn't dangerous. She's just alone. And I get this feeling. This landing is about to get interesting. Learn quickly. She keeps vampire hours. Not literally, probably. First time I see her at night, it's almost midnight. Heading to corner store because milk is gone. Of course it is. Stairwell light flicks on. She's there. Same black hoodie, same boots, different mood, sleepy, less sharp. She looks at my bag. Milk run? Emergency, I say. Cereal doesn't forgive. She considers this like it's philosophy. Fair? We walk down together, in silence. At the store, she grabs instant noodles, candy, and something aggressively green. Raise eyebrow. Detox tea, she says flatly. Don't judge. Of course. She smirks despite herself. Point for me. Walking back up. She trips on the last step. Catch her elbow without thinking. She freezes, looks at my hand, then at me. Thanks, she mutters. No problem. She doesn't pull away immediately. Then she does. A few nights later, it happens again. Different excuse, same stairs. She's sitting on the landing, headphones off, scrolling. You're late, she says without looking up. Pause. Were you waiting? She shrugs. I like the quiet. Convenient, I say, sitting a step below. She glances at me. You talk a lot for someone who claims to be calm. I'm conversational, I correct. She snorts. Again, we end up talking. Nothing deep, music, bad neighbors. Why elevators always break at the worst possible time. She complains about everything with impressive commitment. I listen. Then she hits me with it out of nowhere. You're not weirded out by me. Look at her. Should I be? She gestures vaguely at herself like Gestures at Goth is an entire biography. People usually are. Shrug. People are usually bored. She studies my face like she's checking for hidden cameras, then nods once. Okay. We head upstairs. She unlocks her door, pauses. Hey. I look back. You're cool, she adds. Smile. High praise. She rolls her eyes, but her mouth curves just a little. Unlock my door. Realize something. She doesn't wear armor to scare people away. She wears it to see who stays anyway. And somehow, I keep ending up on the same step as her. That's how a month went by. The invitation is accidental. At least that's what we pretend. It's raining. Unlocking my door. Her door opens at the same time again. Building definitely ships us. She looks at the rain, then at me, sighs. I don't feel like being alone tonight. Says it like she's reporting humidity. Pause half a second. Nod. I've got tea. She raises an eyebrow. Of course you do. My apartment is painfully normal. Light colors, a plant, 0 skulls. She takes it in like she's entering enemy territory. You live like an ordinary person. Yes. She smirks and drops onto the chair like she's been there before. Make tea. She watches. You always this functional? I try. She hums. Must be nice. Sit at the table, steam rising. Rain hits the windows hard. Inside is quiet, not awkward. Ask if she's always been a night person. She shrugs. Night doesn't expect anything from you. Nod. That's fair. She studies me over her mug. You don't ask many questions. Only when people want to answer. She gives me a look, curious. She leans back. I've always lived alone, she says suddenly. Not because I'm mysterious, just easier. Don't interrupt. She notices and keeps going. People try to fix me, or analyze me, or get scared. And you? I scare them first, she says dryly. Smile. Efficient. She laughs, then stops like she accidentally dropped her guard. Don't get used to it. I won't. I'll just enjoy it while it happens. She looks at me for a long moment, then nods. Okay? And then she suddenly walked up to me, kissed me, and we didn't hold back, ending up in bed. It was fantastic. In the morning, the rain subsides. She stands. Well, she says, this was nice. Yeah. She hesitates at the door, turns back. You're different. Then softer. Don't disappear. Meet her eyes. I live across the hall. She smirks, still. Notice it in pieces, not all at once. Important things always sneak up on you. First sign, she stops smoking. No announcement, just doesn't. See her on the steps one evening, staring at rain. No cigarette. You quit? Shrug. Trying. Good for you. She squints. You say that like you don't expect me to succeed. I say that because it will only make you healthier. She huffs. Fair. Second sign, food. Used to live on noodles and coffee. Now she's in the hallway holding a bakery bag, looking betrayed. What happened to you? Grimace. I walked past. It smelled delicious. Peek inside. Croissants, plural. You okay? She glares. Don't make it weird. I wasn't going to. She narrows her eyes. You definitely were. Third sign, nausea. Harder to ignore. We're in the stairwell and she suddenly stops, grips railing. You good? She nods too fast. Yeah, just stairs are evil. Straightens and keeps going like nothing happened, but she's pale and sweating. That night she shows up at my door, hoodie, messy hair, no sarcasm. Do you have ginger tea? She asks quietly. Blink. Yes. She exhales like I just diffused a bomb. She sits at my table again, wrapped in a blanket this time. You don't look okay, I say gently. Flattering, she mutters. Slide the mug over. She sips carefully. Sighs. Okay, that helps. Want to tell me what's going on? She stares into the cup. Long pause. I don't know yet, she says. And that's the problem. Don't push, just nod. She notices. You're not asking 1,000 questions. I will, I say when you're ready to answer them. She studies my face. You're annoyingly calm. Occupational hazard. She smirks weakly. She stands to leave, wobbles slightly. I'm there before she meets the wall, hand steady on her arm. She freezes, looks at my hand, then up at me. Thanks, she says quietly. Again. After she leaves, I stand in my kitchen too long. Something is off, and whatever it is, she's carrying it alone, which means sooner or later. I'm not going to let her. She knocks at my door at 6 a.m. That alone tells me everything is not fine. She looks worse than yesterday. Pale, hood up, eyes sharp but exhausted. She's holding a small white bag like it might explode. I need your bathroom, she says. Not a question. Step aside. Anytime. 10 minutes. 15. Put kettle on without thinking. Bathroom door finally opens. She doesn't look at me. Sits on edge of couch, hands clenched. I did a test, she says, flat, like she's reading the weather. Sit across from her. Okay. She finally looks up. There were 2 lines. Silence. She laughs suddenly, short, sharp. Of course, she mutters. The Goth gets pregnant. Very on brand. Don't laugh, because she's bracing for something closely. I'm thinking, I reply. That's worse. Shake head. No. She blinks. She talks fast now. I live alone. I don't have family. I don't do help. Meet her eyes. You don't have to decide anything right now. She scoffs. Easy for you to say. Maybe, I say, but it's still true. She looks down. They always leave, she says quietly, when things get complicated. Lean forward slightly. Then they weren't built for complicated. She snorts. Great, I'm pregnant and inspirational. Slide tea toward her. She wraps her hands around it. Look, I say, you don't have to face this alone. She stiffens. Are you offering out of pity? No, I say immediately. I'm offering because I'm here. She studies my face, searching for cracks, for fear, doesn't find them. You're not running, she says. No, you're not judging. No, you're not trying to fix me. Definitely no. That almost gets a smile. She exhales slowly, shoulders drop just a little. Okay, she says, then don't disappear. Nod. I won't. She leans back, closes her eyes. For the record, she adds, I'm still wearing black. Smile. I'd be disappointed if you didn't. Outside, morning starts. Inside, something irreversible has already begun. And for the first time. She's not carrying it alone. First argument is about vitamins. That feeling when adulthood is arguing in a pharmacy aisle. I don't need them, she says, arms crossed, hoodie zipped like armor. You do, I say calmly. I've survived on coffee. And now you're growing a human, I say. That changes the rules. She glares. The human will be Goth. Hopefully alive first. She groans. She stares at prenatal vitamins like they insulted her aesthetic. These are pink, she mutters. They're pills. Pink pills, she insists. Grab another box. These are white. She narrows her eyes. Acceptable. Returning home, she comes to me and sits at the kitchen table. Quietly becomes our table. She pokes soup. What did you put in this? Vegetables. Her face twists. You're trying to kill me. Slowly, I say, with nutrients. She eats it anyway, complains the whole time, finishes the bowl. Neighbors start noticing. Of course they do. Mrs. Keller watches me carry groceries one morning. Is she whispers. She's fine, I reply politely. She's very pale. She's Goth. Oh! Mystery solved. Later she's on my couch wrapped in a blanket like an angry burrito. I don't like this, she says quietly. What part? All of it, she admits. Depending on someone, letting you do things. Sit beside her, not too close. You're not weak for accepting help, I say. You're practical. She huffs. Don't rebrand my trauma. Too late. She snorts. She leans her head back. You don't act like this is a burden. It's not. She opens one eye. You're sure? Meet her gaze. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. She closes her eye again. Slow breath. Okay. Then she goes to her place. That night I hear her door open. She stands there awkwardly. Hey, she says. Hey, can I stay here tonight? Don't ask why, just nod. Of course. She curls up on the couch, still fully dressed in black. I grab an extra blanket. She watches me. You're weirdly good at this, she says. I've been told. Thank you, she adds, quieter, for not making me feel like a problem. Pause. Smile. You're not. She falls asleep halfway through a sarcastic comment. I sit there a while, listening to her breathe, thinking. This started as neighbors, turned into late-night tea, and now it's turning into something else. She brings it up when I least expect it, which is always. We're on the floor of my living room. She's surrounded by papers and brochures she clearly hates. Doctor schedules, checklists, organized things. She stares at them like they might bite. You know, she says casually, I'm not exactly family material. Look at her. She keeps going, eyes on the floor. I don't do cute. I don't do normal. I don't smile on command. Shrugs. And I don't really belong anywhere. There it is, set mug down. Hey. She looks up. I didn't sign up for a temporary role, I say. I don't do until it gets hard. She frowns. That's not what I meant. I know, I say, but that's what you're afraid of. She hugs her knees. What if I mess this up? She asks quietly. What if I'm bad at it? Lean back against couch. Everyone is, I say. The good ones just care enough to worry. She studies me. You're really not scared? I am, I admit, but not of you. She exhales long and shaky. At your choosing this, she says. Yes. Even knowing I'm complicated. Especially because you're complicated. She snorts. Romantic. I try. She leans her head against my shoulder, just resting. I've always been alone, she says softly. Even when people were around. Don't move. You're not alone now? She goes quiet, then barely a whisper. Okay. That feeling when one word weighs more than 1,000 promises. Later that night, she stands in her doorway, looks back. You know, she says, I still don't like pink. Smile. That's fine. But I might allow gray. Progress, realize something as she closes the door. She didn't ask for a forever speech. She just needed to know. I wasn't planning on leaving, and I'm not. It doesn't happen suddenly. No perfect timing, just an ordinary evening that stops being ordinary. She's in my kitchen again, barefoot this time, still in black but softer somehow. Long sweater, hair loose. She watches me cook. You know, she says, a few months ago I wouldn't have let anyone do this for me. Glance at her. And now? Now, she shrugs. I let you steal my fridge space. Big step. She smiles. We eat in silence, full. She pushes the plate away first. Hey, she says, look up. Thank you for staying. Nod. Always planned to. Later, we sit on the couch, closer than usual. She fidgets with her sleeve, then stops. Looks at me. You don't treat me like I'm fragile, she says quietly. But you also don't pretend I'm unbreakable. That's because you're neither, I say. You're human. She exhales, leans closer, head on my shoulder. This time she doesn't tense. Can I stay? She asks softly. You already are, I say. She tilts her head, meets my eyes. We kiss. Slow. Later, she's curled up next to me, one hand over her stomach. You know, she murmurs, I always thought I'd be alone forever. Look down at her. Plans change. She hums. I don't hate this change. Building is quiet. No whispers, no stares, no awkward timing. Just us, together. She yawns. You better not disappear tomorrow, she says sleepily. Smile. I live right here. She smirks faintly. Good. And for the first time since she moved in, home doesn't feel empty anymore.